There's some lyrical. I don't know if it's.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about it, but
Go on.
this song is for me. There's a line. I just can get the thought of you and him out of my head.
There's some jealousy underneath.
Jealousy,
all this
yeah, and
shittily-
there are certain what I call indirect love songs, but also like this some sort of jealousy songs.
It's in there, but it's there's got a sugary shell around it with the rest of the other bullshit.
Is it something that you want to talk about? Lyrics, I mean.
Yeah, I would be glad to, Martin.
Okay, well, the you and him. Who is the you? Who is the him? Is it directly about someone, or is it maybe something that you heard, or someone else, or someone else's story, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we need to share the names and addresses necessarily, but you know, I think sometimes
it can come from a feeling like that. Yeah.
You know, you're. I think that song particularly is sometimes an exercise in trying to follow up a line with what you would least expect it to be followed with. So it's just constantly pinballing around, which creates hopefully a pleasurable sensation. But there's also, underneath some of those lines there is a memory or a message that you are disguising with the rest of it sometimes, yeah.
And do you know each other?
Do you know where they live?
But do you,
Just to come back around. What are you talking about?
but do you know each other well enough to actually know the stories that trigger maybe the subjects that you write about?
Or are we keeping secrets also not only from the listener but one another? Yes, Martin, I think you're quite right there. I have no idea why he sings Red Lollipop and why he's so bloody angry about it when he does so.
But why did you pick this song then for the album title? Is it something that embodies maybe the whole album? Like you were saying.
I think we explained it in it being that we felt it was the one that there definitely isn't really a song like that on the first one, and it was a song at the end of this process that stuck out to us, you know, and there's no more to it than that, really.
And I suppose, you know, you could say that the thing I was attempting to describe when explaining that song individually and trying to make it surprising what the next line is rather than predictable in any way, I think that's maybe an attitude that we took to the whole thing in some degree.
Is it for this song, for example, is it even so on that base that you write a line and then maybe you come with a line and try to...
On like something like that?
Yeah, totally. And sometimes it's not even necessarily always about the words in that sort of...
scenario.
Yeah, it's like a line or a musical idea might trigger a lyric or a melodic idea. You know, sometimes I feel like there are certain lines that you write specifically to facilitate the melody, and sometimes it's the opposite.
And what is it with this line, the last song, Dream Synopsis? Isn't it boring when I'm talking about my dreams?
And there we have, yes, again, Martin, you know, of course, the sense of humour coming out. You know, isn't it boring when I talk about my dreams? Although that's exactly what I'm doing in the song.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, dreams, there are certain references to dreams on this album.
Lots of, too many, would you say?
No, I don't know. No, that's not my... That's not
for you, is it?
No, that's not... But is it for you? Is it for you?
For me,
No. Dreams. Is it something? Is it something that you were conscious about when you when you were writing the songs, or maybe afterwards that think, hey, maybe there are some reference to dreams. So my question is then, is it something that do you dream a lot?
There's a moment definitely where I thought I put the word dream in there far too often. Yeah, do I dream? I do. I have strange dreams. Quite a nightmarish imagination.
But I thought it was, like I said, I'm trying to when I
Freddy Krueger over there.
Freddy Krueger. What was it? What was the biggest difference for you working together, this album and the previous one? Has it changed? Because you've done many albums in between. You've recorded 2 solo albums. You've recorded many albums.
You've recorded 25.
Now, was the working was it different now for this album?
It was exactly the same, actually. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Compared to even way back then.
What was different about it though? Because that will give us more of an answer.
But if it's not, then it's not. Then maybe rephrase the question. How do you work? Is it for you? Do you work differently with him than with the Arctic Monkeys? Do you?
Yes.
And what is different?
When we're together in the room at the time when we're writing, you know, in the Monkeys often it comes from like a drum part or something, or a bass part that someone else makes up, and then I'll take that away and write a bunch of lyrics to it. Whereas this thing is, you know, us two in a room together. You know, Miles having a musical idea or an idea for a lyric, and then we go backwards and forwards until.
Yeah. I couldn't express with anyone else like I can with him.
You mean?
I mean, like say, yeah. I don't think working with. I couldn't. How do I word that? The end result couldn't happen the way it does when we work together with anyone else. Yeah, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
And in what way? Song structures, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
lyrics?
like the songs, or like the way things sort of happen or you bring out of each other. I feel like it's a unique thing, the process that I've worked with other people, and it's it's really hard to explain. Really.
What does he bring out of you?
You.
Yeah.
A pinball machine.
No, it's something you could say maybe that you feel at ease with him, and that you maybe your lyrics go a little bit deeper, or maybe you try more.
Well, I think maybe it's because we are close, and you do feel like you could say anything, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Is there one part or one song or maybe one lyric that he surprised you with what he did?
I've whistled some good melodies.
Yeah.
Okay, can you pick one?
Let's see.
You quite like the shadow of the chalet thing.
There's one for you, you know, like,
When we said that in a bar or something.
There you go. The chalet of the shadow of death, he proclaims. Which, I don't know, he stumbled across at some point, and I thought...
Then you picked that out.
I said, I love that.
Yeah. Zip!
I said, I love that. I'm having that.
And what does he bring?
I'm putting it in this song. you know, I'm melody for that.
And what does he bring to your songwriting that you can't express maybe within the other project, the other band?
Just, I think working together, knowing you're half of a whole, gives you more, or gives you a different set of opportunities
mindset
creatively. Yeah. Even just knowing that in the beginning before you start sets you up to reach a different conclusion.
But sometimes it's hard when you work just by yourself, and maybe to let someone else include in the process. Or
but then the thing of working with, I just think the thing that we have is, even though you've worked with other people and you enjoy that and it's fun and that works in its own thing, I think this is just a sort of, it's a unique thing or something.
have you ever been to Sheffield?
To Sheffield?
Yeah.
Yes, many a time.
And have you ever been to Birkenhead?
To the Mells on the Wirral.
And do you see similarities?
Our mothers have the same biscuit selection.
And you were both an only child. Is it something that you've spoken about? Maybe some connections?
We've shared about that.
Yeah.
Is there one thing that you maybe would like to share with us?
About being an only child.
Yeah, what you shared?
Yeah, we talk about
the lonely
the
nights,
pain,
playing in front of the mirror.
Yeah, the pain of being on your own with no siblings.
Craving some guidance from an elder sibling.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you could say that we're both only children, and then now together, it's like there's a brotherly sort of thing going on. But let's cut to the chase. What we really want to know is,
do you bum?
I think I have to stop, guys.
Thank you, Martin.
That was
not,
great, Martin.
another question for me
you
to
about these
answer.
things.
Yeah, the last question, another question for me to answer.
Go on. Do you bum?
Every now and then.
Every
But not
Wednesday.
now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you.
Cheers, Martin.
Thank you.